Sorry. Welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Good morning. Today is June 25th, 2025, and I have a bunch of topics that I want to talk about before we get into the technical analysis as we ramp up for the pre-market prep. And I would like to start off by talking about what's happening in the market and what I think about it. And I'm going to change my plans a little bit today. I feel like the mice that has been watching the cheese for quite a while and is tempted to bite in. So that's my state of mind. That's why the thumbnail says so. Markets are opening on a cautious but stable note as investors are looking at the Iran-Israel conflict. There was a ceasefire that was brokered by the US, but despite some initial breaches with non-lethal rocket fire and a little bit of swearing here and there, the truce has largely held. And this has eased the fear a little bit about the wider conflict. We saw the effect of that yesterday itself. Meanwhile, Powell also reaffirmed the Fed's wait-and-see stance on interest rates, emphasizing uncertainty around the impact of tariffs and trade policy on inflation. And I think that that leaves the Fed in status quo. So everyone was waiting for the Fed to testify, and they thought that they would get some clues. In my opinion, it is almost more or less like status quo being pushed down. Can has been pushed down the road for later. Meanwhile, oil prices are edging higher again this morning as traders who are closer to the actual conflict reassess the ceasefire's durability. There are people in the Middle East, there are people in Asia, China, other countries who have a different geopolitical view than what we have in the US, and they are consuming non-US media. So they are likely to look at it slightly differently because there is still that debate about whether Iran's uranium has been destroyed. And I think Trump is saying that, it has been obliterated, but the Intel reports are saying otherwise. And I think this thing is going to be a big problem for retail investors because, in my opinion, Trump is looking for a Nobel Peace Prize, and he's doing a lot of collaboration with Pakistan. We had a news today also that they are going to finalize their trade deal with the US by the end of this week. So that is, and Pakistan has nominated Trump said it's going to nominate Trump for Nobel Peace Prize. Now, the Iran issue, if it had got resolved with just those first round of bombing, it would have been a bit easier for Trump because within his party, a lot of people are not happy with this warmongering and other things. And having to go back again with another set of B-52 bomber raids to destroy and complete the job is going to be a bit tricky. And not doing it means it's going to enable Iran to get back on top again. And the problem will continue, and bye-bye peace prize, because this would not have decisively closed anything, and it would be a negative for the peace prize. And interestingly, Norway is hosting I think Norway is hosting the NATO summit, and Trump will be there. And guess what? Norway is the country where the Nobel Peace Prize is awarded. So I'm expecting to see some developments out there. And at the end of the day, they might decide, okay, let's give a peace prize and let's get this thing over with. So anything can happen. As a retail investor, I'm looking at all those possibilities, which generally we would say as conspiracy theories and, crazy possibilities. But I'm entertaining all of them because we can't afford to lose money. And it becomes a thing that we have to consider. So that said, I think with oil's rally was brief, and with it being contained, with prices quickly dropping below pre-conflict levels after the ceasefire was announced, it looks pretty decent. And oil markets are less reactive than in the past, I would say. On the trade front, California's ports are seeing a wave of incoming freight from China, and the Chinese shippers are rushing to beat the August 12 tariff deadline that was set by President Trump. And I think some of you who are wondering what the August 12 tariff deadline is, well, it is the expiration of a 90-day temporary tariff reduction agreement between the United States and China. Under this deal, which took effect on May 14th, 2025, both countries agreed to scale back their most recent rounds of tariff increases. The US reduced its additional tariffs on Chinese imports from 125% to 10%, and China did the same for US goods. The 10% tariff rate is only in effect for 90 days. If no further agreement is reached or the pause isn't extended, the US tariff on Chinese goods will automatically revert to a much higher rate, specifically back up to 34% starting August 12, 2025. And then China will also raise its retaliatory tariffs accordingly. And this looming deadline is why there is currently a surge in shipping activity at the US ports. And that's what this headline is all about. California ports see new wave of freight containers as ships try to beat China tariff. Both the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach are handling their highest container volumes since January, but officials say they are well prepared and not expecting congestion. This surge is likely temporary as freight bookings have already started to taper off, and many importers remain cautious amid ongoing trade uncertainty. I remember seeing another headline elsewhere. I'm just going to go to Reuters. have a quick look. Sorry about my cough. I've come down with some kind of a bug. I'm really sorry about this, but I had seen a headline where, okay, this is what I was talking. Pakistan says trade talks with US to conclude next week. Generally, you don't get a headline for anything happening with Pakistan or Bangladesh or India. So this is significant. And there's another headline that I'm looking for, which has maybe it's on Bloomberg. That headline has got a Chinese senior official saying that tariff should not be weaponized. It's a latest statement that has come out. So I think putting all of those things together, a reasonable amount of caution is warranted towards assuming that there may be no resolution at the end of August 12, and we may get back into those high tariffs. That's quite a possibility. So we have to be careful about that. And I think that's what, this is the headline I was talking about. China's Li urges not to turn trade into a political or security issue. And he was speaking at the World Economic Forum's annual conference in China. This is another message. Probably there's negotiations going on between US and China. And this is one of the ways for China to signal to US and the world that there is still a little bit of issues around using trade as a political or security issue. I don't think it's ever going to go away, but that's still on top of the mind. And also corporate earnings are looking much better. FedEx delivered on cost cutting, but its guidance kind of disappointed. And then we come on to EVs, and we have this headline here: Tesla's European car sales nosedive for fifth month as customers switch to Chinese vehicles. But at the same time, we also have news that BYD has reduced its production levels. So in the electric vehicle sector, I think the Chinese automakers are making major inroads in Europe, and Tesla's European sales are falling as customers switch to more affordable Chinese EVs, which now claim nearly 6% of the European market, double their share from a year ago. However, at home, Chinese EV leader BYD is scaling back production and delaying factory expansion amid rising inventories and profit concerns, signaling that the rapid growth phase in China's EV market may be cooling, and they may need to find new markets to expand into and continue to innovate and try to beat Tesla with good quality construction and good feel. I think they're already that, but if this is what is happening to BYD, despite its cost advantages and everything, imagine what's happening to Tesla in the international market, along with this tariff issue, where rare minerals like those magnets that are used for making the motors and other components for EVs are again going to be under stress post August 12th if an agreement is not reached, because all those export permits are for a period of 1 year only and can always be weaponized. Even though China is saying that trade and business should not be weaponized, they wouldn't hesitate to do that either, to weaponize the export of rare earths. So that said, the major takeaway I would say is that markets are steady, but still wary of Israel-Iran ceasefire holding. And Powell's testimony, I don't think, helped in any way. And oil's muted response to the Middle East conflict shows that energy markets, if they go up, I think there are other producers like the oil sands and the shale producers who will start drilling, or who will start producing more oil. There'll be some kind of equilibrium. So I think that's what has been proved. That reduces the market risk to a good extent. Yeah? And with that said, I think I'd like to go and have a look at what's happening with our indices. I'm going to switch over to a single window, single pane, and move out of this 3-minute chart to a 1-day chart, because that's the time frame in which we can make sense for the day. And friends, today I'm feeling like the mice that has been looking at the cheese on the trap on a daily basis and finally decides that nothing has happened so far, so let me take a bite. I'm very much tempted to get in with some longs, but the fact that we are very close to this line, which is a line which has been with us for a very long time, that makes me worry. It will be pushed back down again. And we are also reaching this red line, which I think is the all-time high of 6268.75. And I don't want to take a risk out here. So I'm going to still try and stay out of the fray for today, because when you don't know what's happening, I think the best thing to do is not to do anything. Just trim your positions and wait. I've already trimmed my positions and I'm waiting. I have plenty of cash and my shorts are accumulating losses, but on the way down, they will recover. So I'm not too much worried about it, but I won't increase my shorts right now. I'm just going to wait. And we have a very critical test out here. If you look at, if we were to draw this line of resistance out here, this is a very big resistance today for us. It's a very strong resistance at 6,166.75, because this is an all-time line, which is a line in the sand kind of. And again, we have this as the all-time high out here, which we have plotted. So this is going to stop us. And we have to see how the market reacts. Plus, remember, we have this bearish divergence, which is only getting worse. So the bearish divergence is only getting worse, right? So we got to keep this also in mind. We should not forget the bearish divergence and the fact that the bullish sentiment had tapered and it's picking up a little bit. The markets can do anything. They can continue to go up, and I've seen them go up for the last 2 months. I've been thinking it's going to go down now, it's going to go down next, but no, it didn't happen that way. And this is how the whole thing looks like. And earlier, this was a bull flag. And then we already got what we should with the bull flag. Let me just plot it out here, just to convince for myself as well. So this, I thought, was the bull flag, and the bull flag exited. The bull flag exited out here from the track. So technically, it could go all the way up here. That's why I have that red line out there. So this bull flag could take us all the way up there. But my word of caution is that even though this line is a dynamic line of resistance, it will come to that level only somewhere around December, end of the year. Right now, it's not there. So I'm a bit circumspect. So my dilemma right now is that my technical analysis shows that the market is bullish, and my feeling of the fundamentals tells me that it's very scary. The markets can drop anytime, and when they drop, they will drop big time. So I'm very worried about it. So now, having said that, this bull flag kind of ended out here and created another bull flag. Now, this new bull flag out here is what we are looking for. So I would have to draw another line here for this bull flag. So this went all the way up to here. And then we broke out yesterday. So I would say if the bull flag was going here, then this is the point at which we broke out. So our next bull flag target is just below at 6,235.75. Friends, I could be wrong. I'm just a retail investor using my amateur technical analysis, but everything points to the market being really bullish. Now, this chart is a culmination of the market sentiment, and the sentiments need not necessarily be rational. But if you look at what is happening everywhere, our tariff mess is not resolved. The big beautiful bill is going to add trillions of dollars to the deficit. And there is a war raging between Israel and Iran. And then there is the war between Russia and Ukraine. And China and US are involved in some kind of trade war, which could potentially end up with a geopolitical conflict, because you have Taiwan, where we have all the semiconductors. When I look at the overall picture, I feel sick. But at the same time, when I look at what's happening here in the charts, I feel that it is looking absolutely bullish, and the market is very exuberant. So I'm going towards the route of caution, and I'm saying I'm going to pay heed. But I'm going to pay heed to my technicals and generally accept the fact that the market is bullish. But will I put my money into it? No, I'm just going to stay stay out of the fray right now. And yeah, so that's my plan for now. And Inf is saying my bonds are getting moved. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the market is very finicky right now. I don't know. I'm not buying any bonds. I'm not buying any bonds or anything. I'm just staying on the sidelines and watching. I've got a good deal of money, almost 60% of cash in the portfolio, and the rest is either in profitable Google and NVDA. I'm going to take some profits today. I just have 100, 200 shares like that. So I'm going to take some profits today. I'm yet going to sit in the sidelines. I'm not increasing my shorts yet. I think that the writing is on the wall. How much higher can this go? Look at NASDAQ also. NASDAQ has broken above this diagonal line of resistance. And if it closes above this diagonal line of resistance today, then I will convert this into a support. Let me mark this green right now for today. So this is going to be a support for today at around 22,300 and where is it? 22,398. That's going to be the support for today. And this support is going to be tested. And if we fall below that, then this diagonal line, the red line that you see here, will become a support for us today. And that is going to be at 21,975. And before that, we have the 9-day exponential, which is this red line that you see out here. I hope you're able to see it in your charts. It's at 22,103.49. So that's the range for NASDAQ for today. Again, you have the bearish divergence, which cannot be ignored. And it's only got worse. Like if I have to adjust it out here and adjust it out here, the bearish divergence has got only worse. And I don't see how this can move up further on the RSI or on the MACD, because we're already in the close to the overbought area and we cannot be above 100% on the MACD. So, yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. So Inf is saying you can get a slight yield on your cash. So how is that, Inf? Can you just type in the comment while I go ahead and do other things? Yeah, so then we have the dollar index, which is up 0.16%, but it's still traveling down this diagonal line of resistance. And we have support out here at 97.262. And I think that we're going to have a minor line of support somewhere out here, because it has been tested many times. And this minor line of support is going to be at 97.745. That's our minor line of support. And as per our convention out here, we'll mark that orange. That will be the support for today for the dollar index. And you can see the 10-year yields are going up. And we also have the 20-year yields going up and the 30-year yields also going up. And I think a little bit of money coming into the bonds, maybe a little bit of flight to safety, maybe the possibility that there may be another round of bombing to take care of the undestroyed portions of the nuclear program that was under the mountains in Iran. So maybe if that happens, again, you can see a spike in oil and a spike in the bonds. So this could be a precursor of all those things, because anything can happen suddenly. And if that happens, expect the market to come down. And we are poised very nicely around this blue line. So those things could happen today. I'm not saying it's going to happen because we have the blue line out here, but generally market operates in cycles. So yeah, so Inf is saying that you could put some money in the money market, US 10-year. Okay, I'll check that out. Inf, good idea. Instead of keeping all the money out there, maybe I can put it in the money market. I'll check the chart for money market. FGXXX for cash paid. I think it's paid weekly. Okay, I'll check that out. My Inf, thanks a lot for that. I'll check it out. Maybe I can get some yields while I'm waiting. My brokerage also gives me some decent interest if I have cash in the account. So yeah, I'll check that out. Thanks a lot, Inf. This is exactly why I have the channel and the live stream, because I'm also looking for ideas. I don't claim to know everything. I'm just sharing what I got with me here. And yeah, so that's what I have. Next, let us go on and look at what's happening with AI. And we go to the indicators and we'll see where we are going to open. It's only 8.6. So S&P 500 was at this diagonal line of resistance. And friends, we had seen before that S&P futures was around 6,149. And guess what? This line is 6,149, 6,147.98, somewhere in that vicinity. So already pre-market, we are banging at this resistance. Are we going to be able to break through above that? If we did, we are going to have tremendous support. This diagonal line will become a support, and this horizontal line will become a support. And the next day, we have to test it, stay and close above that to validate it. And once done, I think that's going to be very bullish for the market. But I can't ignore this bearish divergence, right? So I have also checked what is bearish divergence once again, just to make sure that I don't have an imaginary bearish divergence. This is truly a bearish divergence. So it's going to act out sometime sooner rather than later. That's for sure. Now S&P 500 is done. Nasdaq also has the same configuration. It's got a bearish divergence, and it's got resistance at 22,225. However, when we looked at the Nasdaq futures, we are at 22,461. So 22,461 is well above this line. So I have marked this as a support already, because this earlier was a resistance, because we had come all the way up to here and stopped. And yesterday also we came all the way up here and stopped. So today we are already looking like we are going to open above that according to the futures. So it's very bullish, but again, bearish divergence. You can't ignore that, right? And VIX is also saying, oh, market is really bullish. VIX is going down. It's down 2.23%. It's below 20. And all of that screams bullishness. Gold is up 0.03%. And QQQ indicates what's happening in the pre-market. And it's up 0.37%. So overall, I think the Max 7 and all are going to do pretty decent, at least towards the market open. But again, many of the traders who are trading in the pre-market, in my opinion, are retail investors like us. So they could get it wrong as well. One has to be cautious. That said, let us look at where the AI game is at. I have NVDA up 1.01%. In pre-market trades, it's at 149.40. And therefore, our minor line of support at 199.03 is going to be the support today. It's going to be the bottom line support for today. And then we are going to have a resistance, which is going to be at 153.03. And remember, we have a price target here for NVIDIA at 162.25. Technical will give us targets, but there is no guarantee that those targets are going to be met. It's only a probability that we are going to be out there. And yeah. Okay, Inf, all the best for your interview. I think Inf is going for an interview. Let's wish him the very best. I wish you the best, Inf, and I'll catch you up later on, and we'll take it from there. Now let's go on and have a look at what's happening in the charts. For NVIDIA, we have the bearish divergence, and the bullish sentiment is also tapering. This is a sentiment meter out here. So be cautious. Technicals are bullish. Fundamentals are all messed up. Okay, so we got to see what happens out here. Meta is up 0.34% as indicated by QQQ. All of these are going up, and I think when the market opens, if this trend continues, we are going to look at breaking some critical resistance levels, and our MACD and RSI divergence from the price chart is going to intensify even further. Then we have Meta, which could potentially go all the way up to this diagonal line of resistance. And for today, I think I would like to pull this out further. And for today, I think it can go all the way up to 724.04. So there is a lot of room for it to go up. It's already at 714. So a $10 room is there up above. And the support is the 9-day exponential at 695.40. You have Google also. I think Google was making a lot of bull flags and moving up, but now I'm a bit cautious about Google, because this is a bear flag pole, and I think we are forming a bear flag, which will then push us down further. So I got around a little bit of Google in my portfolio. It is profitable, so I'm going to sell and take my profits on Google. So I'll have zero holdings of Google at the end of it. That is my plan for today. The bullish sentiment is almost gone down to neutral. MACD is bearish. Momentum is below average. And for us today, the support is going to be this minor line of support. I'll just drag this out here. You can see that it's going between all of this. So the minor line of support says for today, the support is going to be 167.79. Pre-market, we are at 168.87. And our resistance is going to be 169.22. That's my estimate for Google. Then we look at Amazon, which is up 0.54%. And we have Amazon looking very interesting out here because they have a lot of positive catalyst also going along with them. And they also got a really good opportunity when the market does go down, when there is a recession or when there is this tariff impact coming in. I believe that because of their expertise with their supply chain and having a whole lot of international traders in their platform, they, along with Walmart, are going to be doing very well in addressing the demands of the market, and maybe they'll gather a little more market share. So that's my thought process. And apart from that, Amazon is going ahead with a lot of work on robotics for delivery. They also already used it for upgrading their software and saved around $35 million last year. So they are doing a whole lot of work on AI and robotics over and above their retail. And they are also into the cloud infrastructure and AI infrastructure. So I think Amazon is really an unsinkable one. And I have a reverse head and shoulder target, which takes us all the way to 258.18. But the fact that we've gone up there and we come down here may seem a bit of a disappointment. But if we look at this as a bull flag, then I think that the next leg up, if we break out from here, should take us somewhere close to 233.28. Now, if you ask me, what does the overall fundamentals look like? Yeah, the fundamentals are looking really bad, but Amazon might be a bright spot in that, in my opinion. If you guys feel otherwise, please put it in the comment section. Then we have Apple, which is consolidating a lot. People don't know what the hell is going to happen with Apple. They have got production capacity in China, and earlier Trump had cautioned them to move out of China, so they moved into India. Now Trump is saying don't do in India, bring it in-house. In-house cost, experts are saying, is around $3,500 for each iPhone. And who's going to buy that iPhone for $3,500? And if they manufacture in US and export it to India and China, definitely there's going to be tariffs out there. So Apple is caught up between a rock and a hard place, and they are looking for relief. So I think this technicals about here in this chart are indicating that dilemma. There's a range-bound movement and consolidation. Fundamentally a good company, great product. And again, it has to make breakthrough into AI. It has to become an AI phone. And they're working towards it, but I think the market is not yet satisfied. Next, look at Microsoft, which is up 0.44%, is broken above this diagonal line of resistance that we had. My theory was that we are no longer in a bull flag, so this could taper down and fall off. I still have the same theory, but this kind of puts a wrench on the works. Now, this is a new support. And today, pre-market, we are already above this support. For today, the support is at 489.92. And we are at 492.28 in the pre-market session. So my MSFT is getting battered really bad. I've shorted Microsoft. Very wrong decision. I'm suffering big time. I don't know. I'm just going to hold on for a while. Tesla is up 1.09. Again, I had shorted Tesla. It's trying to pick up again this morning. I have not yet made a decision of whether to sell or keep. I believe I'm bearish on Tesla because that robotaxi launch, whatever information we are getting, I'm still on the bearish side because the incomes, if any, are way out, and Tesla has to manage to iron out all those glitches that we saw on social media videos. And fortunately, those glitches did not cause any accident or loss of life. And sorry about that. I'm coming down with a bug. And Tesla has very smartly chosen friendly jurisdiction, like I think Saudi Arabia and Texas. So they will have a favorable environment in which to manage all these things. And I think if they succeed, they could do great business out here. Right now, Tesla price includes robotaxi as well as their AI. And that is going to be tested in the market. And that is the tussle that we are seeing in the charts here. Our MACD is bearish, heading towards the bullish side. Momentum is above average but dropping. And I think the sentiment is bullish to neutral at this point of time. So we need to see what would happen. And then we have Oracle, which is up 0.19%. This diagonal line of resistance was working until yesterday. But today, I think this is going to become a line of support. This was a minor line of resistance that we had put. It was respected for 5 days. Now we are gone above that. So this is going to perform the role of a support. If we break down below it, the 9-day exponential at 203.46, this red line is going to be the next support. And then we have AMD. AMD is overbought. And AMD is above a line of support of 130.86, which will function as a support today. And pre-market, it's up 1.37%. It's at 140.33. So the next question is, guys, where is the next resistance? So I think the next resistance is going to be out here. And this is going to be 144.37 for today. So we got another $4 plus to go. And then you have SMCI up 1.54%. So this resistance out here at 42.80 is going to perform the role of a support today. And our resistance is going to be a minor line of resistance at 46.42. Right now we are at 43.50 in pre-market trading. Broadcom is up 0.95% in pre-market trading. We are already above yesterday's. And I think Broadcom is going for all-time highs. So it's all blue skies from here. And this was our bullish pennant. And we broke out from here. So probably we are looking at a target of somewhere around 290 or 285 for Broadcom if everything goes well. We already have a gap up. So there's a lot of bullishness out there. And Broadcom has been upgraded by HSBC to buy, citing strong revenue growth potential and in ASICs. And they raised that target price from $240 to $400. So my target is well within that. So I'm thinking that, AVG or Broadcom could go up further. Palantir, ever bullish stock, is up again 0.76%. And it's again plotting new all-time highs. So this was a bull flag out here. So I'll just plot out to you where I think the potential is. Let me take this trend line. So this was a bull flag. So I'll take the bull flag from here, go all the way up to here. And then the bull flag broke out somewhere out here. So I would say that we are looking at a target of 160.58 for Palantir. And friends, please remember, I'm a retail investor like yourself, and this is all my own personal opinions. I'm not an expert technical analyst, but I've been doing this for quite a while for my own portfolio. And most of the times I have made money. This year I have made good money. I've realized profits. And the reason why I'm sharing all this is because I want to hear from you guys. If you don't agree with me, I would like to see that in the comments, that I can get something out of this channel, right? The idea is to compare with other retail investors, how they think and what they do, because that's what I have always wanted. And since nobody was giving that, I made this channel to share my thoughts as a retail investor, how I'm thinking about today. I want your feedbacks. If you're looking at a stock that we are not, and that's going to make some money today, I would like to hear about that. So put that in the comment section. Don't do any penny stocks. Do some really good ones, because we're building a community here, and reliability is very important. And people should not lose money. They should be able to make some money. That's what I'm thinking. And we have SMH up 0.63%. Again, this is a bull flag. and we broke out on the upside. So it could go all the way up, I think, to 288. That's my estimation for SMH, quick and dirty. But again, remember, friends, we have this bearish divergence, which is only getting worse. You see this green line out here, the green bar. So I have to pull it up. It's looking even more horrible than it was yesterday. So the elastic is getting wound up. It's getting tighter and tighter, and it's scaring the hell out of me. At the same time, it is tempting me, saying that the market is very strong. Don't be a fool. Just put a little bit of amount in longs and take some money out of it. So I'm resisting the temptation. I resisted it yesterday, day before. So literally for almost 3 or 4 days, I have not done any trading. I'm very tempted today. Tempus AI is also up 1.19% today in pre-market trades. And our minor line of support is at 68.18. And that's still going to perform the line of support today. And our resistance today is going to be this variable or dynamic line of resistance at 78.01. So that's what I have there, my friends. And I have invested in ASML. That's doing extremely well. I'm holding on to ASML. I'm thinking that the next stop for ASML is around 871.05. And for ASML, right, I think we have bearish divergence. It's not as bad as the others, but still there is bearish divergence. And I'm hoping that there'll be a bit of consolidation. I'm looking forward to consolidation. If consolidation doesn't happen, I'll take profits and get out of ASML. I have it on the Canadian side. And then I have Rigetti, which is heavily in loss. It's up 1.57 today. Support continues to be 9.95 and resistance for today is going to be 12.55. And AV is something that I'm very bullish about. It's continuing to pick up. I have a reverse head and shoulder pattern out here with a target of 241.61. So I might probably pick up a few AV today. I'm looking at that very carefully. We have a resistance at 203.42. So ideally, I would like us to break through the resistance. But if you look at the formation out here, now this, my friends, in my opinion, is a bull flag. A bull flag started here, or bullish pennant, you can say. The bullish pennant started here. And if we break out today and we continue to move upward, then I would assume that we have broken out from here. And if the upward trend continues, then we are going into 229.67. That will be the intermediate target out there before we reach the reverse head and shoulder target. So I'm feeling very encouraged with this. So I might try to pick up a little bit of AV. Once again, I made profits and I sold it off. And I was waiting on the sidelines. But if I did buy something, I'd be tempted to buy that. So that said, let's go on and have a look at Genomics before we wind up. Prime is doing great. It's up 2.03% in pre-market trades. Look at the way it's going. It's like a rocket. We have this concept of 3 black crows, which are 3 red candles going downwards. Likewise, we have 3 soldiers out here, or these 3 green candles. Very bullish. And we have got nice longs for, yeah. And we have MACD, which is bullish. And we have RSI, which is doing pretty well. But the RSI is overbought. I want to just go back and see how much we have been higher on the RSI before. Our recorded history shows us that we've gone up to 76.84. And right now, we are way beyond that. We are at around 79.53. So it's looking very scary for Prime. There could be a little bit of consolidation while the RSI cools off. And our diagonal line of support is going to remain out here. So this is going to be the diagonal line of support for future. This is also the diagonal line of support for future. So Prime, it's very risky right now. Profits had to be made. Maybe a call or something should be done out there to preserve profits. And then we have Intelia. Intelia is got a gain of 0.31% in pre-market, and support is 8.94. Resistance is 11.33. Again, everything looking good. Caribou Bioscience is up 2.13%. Everything is looking good except that we are close to overbought out here. And we have a resistance at 1.50. And we have a support, very strong support at 1.27, which is a combination of the horizontal line of support and the 9-day exponential. Very good indeed. And then we have Beam Therapeutics, which is up 1.05%. And our resistance for today is going to be 17.51. Right now we are at 17.33. And our support is the 9-day and the 21-day exponential, which lies between 17.02 and 17.20. And friends, remember, our genomic stocks are very sensitive to the overall index. So if the overall index drops, these things will drop like a stone. So don't be surprised or get caught off guard. That is my personal opinion again, not financial advice. Always better to have some hedges like a covered call or something like that to save your profits, safeguard on the downside. And we have another stock here, Altimmune, which I think has the potential of going to 8.67. And I'm going to draw a line here. This is a bull flag. We have broken out of the bull flag and we broke out here. So from here, I think we have potential of 8.96 for Altimmune. I have some shares of Altimmune, still a little residue. I'm holding on to it, and I'll see what happens as the days roll by, but that's what I'm looking at. And then we have Verve Therapeutics, which is flat in pre-market trades. It is consolidating out here, forming a base because it had a gap up due to the Lilly buyout news. If you have not seen that, check out the video that I made on it recently. And yeah, that's the reason why it's gone up there, even though this gap is going to act as a magnet. A lot of consolidation happening out there. Editas is up 0.44% in pre-market trades. The chart is looking pretty bullish. And we have Illumina, which is down 0.04% in pre-market trades, still above this huge area of support. So I'm thinking we have very strong support at 89.83, which happens to be a culmination of this huge area of support, the upper bound of that and the 9-day exponential. So that's going to be the support for today. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 0.79% in pre-market trades, and we have supported the 9-day exponential. And also, you can see that the RSI shows that it's overbought, and we have gone to where we turned around the last time. That was 74.10, and right now we are at 74.81. So anytime this can turn around and come back, in which case the 9-day exponential at 43.78 is going to provide the support. That said, Allogene is up 0.80% in pre-market trades. Resistance is the 21-day exponential and the 9-day exponential, which are somewhere at $1.29. Right now, pre-market, we are at 1.26. So that's our resistance out there. And our support is going to be this diagonal line of support and market green. And for today, it's going to be a support at 1.05. A steep fall indeed. Grail is up 1.25% in pre-market trades. It had done a V-shaped recovery out here. And for today, I think the support is going to be at 44.07. Right now, pre-market, we are at 44.50. Our resistance is going to be this minor line of resistance at 45.71. So that's what we got there. PSEB is up another 0.42%. So this support here at 1.21 is exactly what the pre-market action is at. It's also at 1.21. So assuming this to be the support today, I would say that we have a resistance somewhere around 1.39 for PSEB today. And yeah, in fact, the 9-day exponential at 1.22 could be the first resistance for today. PSEB stock is definitely weak. And then we have ARCG going up 0.70%. And it's looking pretty good overall. Sentiment is bullish. MACD is still bullish. Momentum is picking up and above average, plenty of room on the RSI. So MACD needs to improve a little bit. Pre-market signs show that it's improving. So things are looking good out here. And also this is the bull flag or bullish pennant, and we are going to break out on the upside. Until we come halfway down to this bull flag, I'll consider this to be a bullish sentiment. Then we have Vertex, which is down 0.06%. And we have Ginkgo Bioworks, which is up 1.74%. We still have resistance at 9.37. And we have support at the 9-day exponential at 8.70. And 9.35 is where we are at in the pre-market section. I have some Eli Lilly. And as I said yesterday, I was looking at this regression channel, which in my opinion was a bull flag, but then it started consolidating. So we came down here and then we went up. We created another down channel. and then we went up again. But right now, what is forming out here, in my opinion, is a bull flag. And therefore, as you guys know, the bull flags, when they break out, they like to break out on the upside. And we are on the upside of this median today. So if this median gives us support, we could go up further. So today I'm going to watch Lily. And if we go up, and then I'll draw out a target from here, which is most likely to take us to this diagonal line of resistance. And that would be the price target for Lily. So that's my plan for today. So friends, that brings me to an end of today's session. And if you have anything that you want to talk to me about, I'd like to handle those questions right now. Or else I'm off to have my breakfast and some medicine for my sore throat and the cold that I'm suffering from. Thanks a lot, friends. Thanks, Inf. Bye for now.